Hello, what is up, YouTube? JMU, what can my school give back to you? Here's what we're about to give right now. We got Fresh and Fit. We got a reaction for you today. I promise you, this is not a reaction channel. I just so happened to see this about a week ago and decided I'm 100% putting this on the channel. Right now, if I have time, I have two separate clips for the same video that I want to play. If I have enough time. If I go on too long of a tangent, I'll just split it up into two separate videos. Because they are kind of two somewhat separate topics, so maybe I'll end up doing that anyway. Gives you guys a little bit more time to get to know me. Alright? And probably pick my brain a little bit. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and play this thing all the way at 1:33:19.
Yeah, so my question is do you think you ladies are going to be able to find a man if you guys keep up with the habits that you guys have of being like non-agreeable, not listening to reason, not like critical thinking, not having like just a moment to pause and be like, okay, this is how society acts, and I might not like it, but I might as well acclimate to it and try my best to find a man.
Okay. Do you guys think you're going to still get a guy with that mindset? We can start here.
I had to stop it right there because this is something that I've told women in my life, right? Old girl that's still around, right? My sister. I don't think I had to tell my mother this because I think she already knew. But this idea, and this is especially prevalent when it comes to women, right? This idea that I'm going to be exactly as I am, and if the man doesn't love me for who I am, what I am, exactly as I am, then he's not the man for me, or he's not the right one for me. It's this belief that there will be some man out there that will accept her and all of her flaws, and of course there is, right? But here's the real question. Does she want that kind of man that would accept her for everything? Probably not, because guess what? The men that she is drawn to, the men that she chases after, the men that she is attracted to have options. And if they have options, they don't tolerate a woman that for everything she is. They're going to require her to have some kind of self-examination and some sort of self-adjustment. That is just the way it is, especially if he has an image he needs to uphold, and attaching you to him can either bring his image up or tarnish his image altogether. So a man takes it very seriously of who he attaches himself to it. So anyway, now that we got that out the way, if we as men had that mindset of not changing, if they're not down with us for all that we are, then they're not the woman for us, right? I mean, we would never get laid. We wouldn't get laid. Because guess what? Most of us would still be not at home. Maybe we would live with roommates. We'd be playing video games. Sorry for the shirt. This is kind of something to go to the gym in too, but this is an undershirt for uniform and all that. So that's why I'm not dressed the best. I came home and turned this camera on. I had set up the content in the morning before I went to work. So I came home and I just hit the play button. Anyway. Yeah. Imagine, right? Because most of us, if we didn't have to self-improve to get girls, we would still keep mediocre jobs. We would play video games, right? We wouldn't be on any kind of grind. We wouldn't find the need to get better cars. We wouldn't find a need to essentially just improve our lifestyle altogether if a woman could just accept us for us, and it will just be down with us and who we are. If that was the case, we wouldn't have the need to get on a grind and improve yourself to such a level, you know? But women, unfortunately, have the luxury of not having to improve, and they would still get approached by men, right? So, and it is what it is. I do the best to tell my sister and whatnot that you have to, that you gotta do what you need to do. If men have to improve to get women, you have to improve to keep a man. So that is something definitely worth noting. But anyway, let's go ahead and play this a little bit and see what her answer is.
Or are you changing?
Am I changing? I would say yes. When I'm in a relationship, I would change, and I feel like I'm the type of person who would listen to my man and take in understanding where he's coming from. So I would think that I could still be wifed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
So that was her response, right? And you would hear that a lot, especially on First Fit Podcast or other podcasters that invite women on. You hear this a lot, right? You know, I would change or do, you know, adjust certain things within myself or my lifestyle for the right man. Here's the issue. That man sees you and your current lifestyle and is already making judgments and is going to next you before you even get to the point to where you found out that this guy is the right man or Mr. Right or whatever, right? I told a little girl this. I told my sister this. I think I told a couple other people this. But success is, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard this before. Success is when opportunity meets preparation, right? Opportunities are everywhere, but guess what? Most people are not prepared. Especially when it comes to the dating game, but this can apply to anything. But especially the dating game, right? The dating game is either won or lost way before you even meet the person. Well before you even meet the person, you're either going to already be taking L's or you're going to take W's. And the reason why I say this is because, again, gentlemen, I'm going to ask you, how many of you have ran across a very, very special breed of woman that you know, like, speaks to your inner man, that says, this is a wife, right? This person needs to get put in a house now. She needs to get taken off the streets and all this stuff. And she needs to be living a soft life right now. How many of you have ran into a woman that is that pleasant or gives you the wife vibes, right? Like gives you just hard wife vibes. I've only ran into 7 women total that have done that, which is, and I've worked jobs that put me in front of a lot of people. I still have a job right now that I interact with a lot of people on a daily basis. But how many of you guys have ran into a woman where you don't even know that much, but you know this is a very, very good woman that anyone would actually commit to, but given the state of affairs that you are currently in, you're not ready, right? To where a woman like this won't deal with me right now, right? Like, you know, I may like her and all that stuff, but let's be honest, a woman like that is definitely going to get taken care of, right? And there's plenty of actual eligible men that are ready and willing to take care of her and put her in a house and all that stuff. Meanwhile, you're still building yourself up. But have you ever met actual eligible women, right? But then look at your own situation and think, I can't sustain this. I can't support this or whatnot. Like, I'm not ready for her. I'm pretty sure all of you have experienced this at least a couple of times. That shit sucks, doesn't it? But this is what I'm talking about, right? if you would have maybe prepared, like let's say, you know, at 19, what are people's mindsets, right? People's mindsets are, I have plenty of time and all this other stuff, but hey, guess what? You meet a woman worthy of wifing up, and you know, it's just like you used the, you know, you took the idea that you had time and you went too far with it because you didn't prepare. You didn't get your grind early. You didn't build your frame, your confidence, your game. You know, talking to women and all that stuff on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like you didn't do the steps necessary to where when you do meet the woman, everything is already in place and you're ready, right? The battle is won well before you meet Mr. or Mrs. Right. So same thing with the women, right? If she's out here doing these crazy things in college, and I have to emphasize on college, right? By the time she meets that guy 4 to 5 years later, and he can sense that she may have been around a little bit, she already lost. It's already, she lost the moment she started partaking in that lifestyle 4 years ago. 4 years ago, she lost the dating game when she started doing that. That's how we need to think about this, right? You know, and as a guy, right, for every time you choose to not get on a grind and you want to keep playing video games or linking up with the boys, smoking pot and all that craziness, you know what I mean? Every time you do that, you're losing, right? You are taking an L. You know, when you meet that girl a couple years later and you're not ready and you're not prepared, you know, you lost. You know, that's the dating game for you. You know, you get out what you put in. Everybody's heard that before, but yeah. So this idea right here that I can shift for the right man, that's not going to work. It's not going to work at all because, the man is going to suss you out. It's like, what are you doing, you know? What are you doing, like, now? What are the things that you're doing right now that is going to help you when it comes to meeting Mr. Right 2 years later? Nobody's thinking about this. Like, nobody thinks about this kind of stuff except, you know, like the very, very few that got raised with both parents and all that. But you guys get my point, right? Everybody needs to shift a little bit, even just a little bit, to attract the opposite sex, right? We gotta do what we gotta do, you know, from the car we drive, to the school we go to the job we get, right, to the area we live in and all that stuff to attract a suitable woman. And a woman needs to do what she needs to do to keep herself from being too damaged to where she can actually keep a man that comes her way later on down the road that's looking for marriage, which I highly recommend against. But any kind of, like, if he's looking for a family or long-term based thing, you know what I mean, then she's good at that point. But you know, this is going to conclude this. I will play the other clip on the next video. Guys, once again, my channel is brand spanking new, so I do ask that you guys share my content to other like-minded fellows, and that will be greatly appreciated. As well as if you got any personal stories of yours, or even a personal story that you've experienced with a friend of yours or whatnot, in regards to, you know, something that you experienced your friend go through with his marriage or whatnot, feel free, you know, or if you got like some questions about certain things, maybe you're trying to improve some things regarding lifestyle or whatnot, feel free to email me at justformenuniversity@gmail.com. Also, check out my Just for Men University Instagram page. I had just made as well. I think I'm going to make a separate Discord server for this channel as well, so be on the lookout for that. But other than that, guys, I'm not going to keep you guys too long. I kept you long enough. So with that being said, guys, that is it for me. I'm out.